What is going on, everybody? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well this week. And welcome, guys, to week number 30 of the Weekly Headliner Update. Now, if you're new to the Weekly Headliners, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap some of those important topics from the previous week as well. Now, this week, of course, we're going to be talking about our blitzes. We also have the conspiracy theory event that is ending, the Sharon Carter event, and also classic list that's going to be ending. So we're going to talk about that briefly. And we also have some welcome changes to these gamma raids. And of course, we're headed into the gamma raid season here that I think is going to be good for the entire player base. Maria Hill had a little bit of a red star debacle here this past week on Friday. We're going to discuss that as well. And an interesting Twitter photo that kind of gives us an idea of some of the characters, or at least we can theorize some of the characters that will be coming into Marvel Strike Force. And we're going to cover so much more, guys, in this video today. And we're going to start right now. Or welcome back, guys. And if it's your first time coming to the channel here and you would like to see some more Marvel Strike Force content, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you will know when my videos do go live, and also some links down below, guys, in the description of this video here. One where you can join my Discord. You can also follow me on Twitch, where I do stream Marvel Strike Force and some Marvel Future Revolution content as well. On my Twitter, my Facebook is also down below. Link to my Patreon, which is another way that you can support the channel here. And also Amazon coins, guys. If you're looking to save some money here on your Marvel Strike Force or any mobile in-game purchases, then check out the link down below. I'm saving up to 20% on my Marvel Strike Force purchases here, so definitely loving that right now. But let's jump into the first topic for this week, which of course is going to be our blitzes, right? The very first blitz for tonight is going to be for Yellow Jacket. And I'll be honest with you, I slept on Yellow Jacket quite a bit. Obviously, he's important for the Jubilee Legendary unlock. I'm actually farming him right now, trying to get him to 7 stars. Hopefully, I'll be able to get him there by the time Jubilee rolls back around. But you know how these things go, man. You're always like just that close away, but sometimes you miss it a little bit. But I do think that he's very good right now. We're going to be doing these gamma raids that's going to be starting here tonight. So I definitely want to be able to boost him up a little bit more. Even at this level right here, level 63, gear tier 11, I'm still finding a lot of usage from him right now. I run him with Stature, with Minerva, a few other characters here that are pretty good. And now I'm going to have Phi Lavelle. So that's going to be a very exciting usage for me here in these gamma raids. So definitely take a look at that. There's going to be some blitz predictions numbers that are going to be rolling around for Yellow Jacket. The next character, which is going to be on Thursday, is going to be Maria Hill. This is going to be the first time where you have an opportunity to recruit. Well, first time for like regular people, unless you're like spending a bunch of cores, because she's in the store right now at the 800 core, or at least she was. I can't tell because I don't really look anymore. I saw it the first time and I was like, bro, I'm not spending 800 cores on 5-star and then 8,000. Nah, you can miss me with that one. But the first actual blitz for her is going to be on Thursday. And I don't know, mixed feelings about Maria Hill. I think in general, I'm kind of getting the consensus that players don't really care about her too much as a character. I think Captain Sam, obviously the big guy on that team, right? He's definitely important. Sharon Carter is quite useful as well. And I think that they're probably going to be the answer, including Maria Hill, for that Doom 1.1 team. But right now, just not really seeing the importance of going after really Maria Hill or really the entire team. Yes, Captain Sam is amazing, but I still think that there are already answers for your regular Doom raids. If you go to Doom 1.1 and you haven't built up a team yet, or you haven't even built up a team for Doom, and I definitely do think Secret Avengers is the right direction to go for you here. But let's take a look at some of these blitz predictions here. I think numbers were a little bit off. So the last blitz that we had was for Nebula, just ended. And I think they predicted that it was going to be 1 to 100, was going to be 39 mil, 16 mil here, top 1%. If you actually look in game in regards to what we actually got for these numbers here, I pulled these up earlier, kind of surprising a little bit. I saw that the top 100 cutoff was actually 42 million. So just a little bit off, I think. And I think we weren't really expecting a lot of players to blitz for Nebula, considering that many already had her at high stars. Like I'm probably about 50 shards away from getting her to 7. And I'm like, you know what? I'll get her there organically. I'm not going to spend the time to do so much blitz. And the top number was 59 million, which is not the highest that we've seen. But still, pretty good effort that was put into this Blitz this year. But the Blitz prediction numbers, they're going to be rolling around tonight, or well, at least today for Yellow Jacket, and of course Thursday for Maria Hill, which I do think is probably going to have the bigger number for sure, since she's a newer character. So happy blitzing, as happy as you can be. But let's move on to the next topic. All right, and next up for this week is that we have the legendary Black Bolt that is returning. Sorry, I would scream, but I'm a little under the weather and I just can't do it. You have to take this instead. The legendary Black Bolt. So yeah, he's returning tonight, guys, and congratulations to those players who are going to be unlocking Black Bolt. I still think that he's quite good in the game. I still think just because of the burp factor that you definitely do still have to pay attention to Black Bolt. I think he's very good for that. Getting a character into the red, having him being able to delete, I think is quite important. Individually, though, I think he's fallen off quite a bit just because of he's so slow. He's so slow as a character. You kind of need to have Yo-Yo there to really be able to take advantage of his damage. But even in these raids, these Doom raids now, I see Black Bolt and I'm like, okay, I have to pay attention to him, but not as much. I think that just this power leap has been crazy because remember, he was like the best character in the game for a little bit, right? He was the most scariest character in the game for a little bit, but either way, I mean, I still think Black Bolt is definitely an irrelevant character, a character that you can use on your roster. You need to unlock him in order to be able to unlock Ebony Maw, who I think is a little bit more important than Black Bolt. But either way, still a good character to go after. Right now, there is a double drop going on for the Asgardian characters. Those who are in the campaigns, there is a double drop going on for them right now. So that would be Hela, Loki, trying to think of, no, that's pretty much it, right? Thor is also in Hero 7, I believe, right? So there's some double drops going on for those characters right now. So congratulations to those who are going to be unlocking Black Bolt here. Still think that he's good, just maybe not as good as he used to be previously before. Some other things that are going on this week right now is that we have the Conspiracy Theory event, which is a Sharon Carter event campaign that's going to be ended this week. And it's been an okay event. I think that I put it in context. I feel like the drop rates haven't been that great for Sharon Carter. I think this is what I'm seeing overall from every other player in the game. I've been fine, but I've seen some of the drops that some of the players have gotten. So curious to see where your drops were for Sharon Carter. Once again, I do think that she's probably she's more important than Maria Hill on that team. And of course, I think, with this Conspiracy Theory event, this was also tied into the Classic Looks event as well. We're going to be able to get these silver phase bits so that you can grab those stars there for Captain America. But curious to see where you guys have landed so far on your shards for Sharon Carter. Wanted to know kind of what your drop rates are looking like for her here. And yeah, I mean, we only got about 5 more days. This is going to be ending on Saturday. For the Sharon Carter event and for Classic Looks as well. So do take advantage of that and make sure that you grab your orbs, spend those cores if you need to get through the rest of the event here. Some other events this week, we have Relic Hunt. That's going to be on Friday. You need your hand characters for that. So keep that in mind. Right. So for me, a very welcome change to these Gamma Raids, which is going to be starting tonight. Gamma Raid is going to be starting tonight here. And we got this from the blog post. Gamma Raid update. The Heroes for Hire team is already making an impact in Alliance War Helicarriers, and soon you'll have the opportunity to flex their might in Gamma Raids. Starting their next run, any Gamma Raids 3 and 4, they kind of grouped these together, so I'm assuming they meant 3 space and 4 node that require the Defender's trait will now also allow the Heroes for Hire trait. This is an additive update and no other trait restrictions will be changed. So I think this is actually a good change. Because if you're running, I think what was it before, like Defenders, you had Mercs, and then you also had Hydra. So I think a lot of players would run like Zemo, Defenders, or you would run your Taskmaster with your Defenders. I think that's kind of what I've seen, or at least that's what I used to do. I don't run the middle lane anymore, but I do think that this is actually a good addition to these Gamma Raids here. And I think Colleen Wing and Misty Knight are a little bit more useful outside of their team than the other characters. I think Iron Fist, the heal is still going to carry, so I think that's fine there. Luke Cage being a tank, I think that's still going to be fine there as well. Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, though, I think are what's going to really make this added impact. Misty Knight, she has 2 attacks or 2 abilities here that can ability block. She can also apply that Disrupted, which is gonna be big against that boss node. I think really where the challenges are is not the previous nodes, but it's really the boss node, primarily that one with Psylocke, that gets very tricky because Psylocke, she likes to take the buffs that you put on the character or on the team, and then she likes to turn them and flip them on one of your characters. So I do think that having a character there that can prevent her from doing that, like Misty, who does have 2 abilities that can ability block, is going to be big. And of course, that Disrupted, there's some hulks that are in that node too that I think are going to make it a little bit less challenging now that you actually have Misty Knight there. Special can also stun. She can also apply the heal block. So I think that that's going to be very important. And then I think on her basics, she can also apply that offense down as well. She can also defense down, and she can also apply the offense up to Colleen Wing. Colleen Wing, of course, she has the assist mechanic, which I think is a big deal. Now, granted, it's only 25%, right? I think it's only 25% chance that she can assist, I believe. Yeah, it says it right here. 25% chance that she can assist outside of war defense. Obviously, on war defense, it's 100% chance that she's always going to assist. She's going to have that additional piercing damage, but she's also going to be applying those bleeds, which will definitely help. I think there's one ability here that attacks Protector, specifically her ult. Yeah, which can attack Protector specifically. That could be helpful against Hulk. Once again, she's applying those bleeds. She's also applying the heal block, which I think is very important as well. So I do think outside of the team that she definitely still provides some value there. Not the greatest characters, but of course, if you're going to have to use, if you have the opportunity to use Heroes for Hire, a lot of players have already built up the Heroes for Hire team, then you have an option here for using them. Or some players have built up the Heroes for Hire team, then you have some usage here for this team in those gamer raids. Obviously, if you haven't done so already, then of course you're probably gonna have to put some investment into them just so that you can get through, because I do think that they will make it a little bit easier than what you're presented with, the options that you currently have right now. So definitely welcome change for these gamer raids, and I think this just should be good if they continue to kind of look at some of these raids and then make some characters that we've already invested into useful in some of these other raids. I think that will be a very good add and change if they continue on this trend. All right, so let's run through our hot topics for this week. The first one is that they introduced the Milestone 2 orb, which we knew was coming. And of course, these new milestones as well that they also updated in the game. So the new Milestone Orb 2, my thoughts on this is that it's helpful for, it's a good orb. It's a better orb, I should say. It's a better orb than the previous Milestone 1 orb. I do think that there are some nuances, some things here that aren't as helpful for some of the player base that maybe is for the other player base. I think for earlier players in general, I think the characters are better. They give you some better options here. You're getting they got rid of a lot of the minions that were in the previous Milestone 1 orb. I don't see any minions that are currently in this orb. So they're all characters that are not minions. That's a big thing. There are some notable characters that are here. Obviously Bishop being there, Beast is there. That's a good thing. I think Electro, some characters that are here that you can use to unlock legendaries, I think are good. Gamora is here. Ghost is here as well. So they actually do have some good characters that are in this orb. Both the Dabros are also in this orb as well. Now there is a lower percentage drop rate now for Symbiote Spider-Man, which I do think is not maybe as helpful for some of the earlier players, just considering that Symbiote Spider-Man I think is actually a very viable option now for obviously, he's a viable option for your Hero 7-1. I think it makes it significantly better once you do get to level 70 to be able to unlock Symbiote Spider-Man. I do think that there's value there. Unfortunately, because Symbiote Spider-Man, the other symbiote characters are harder to get, I do think that you're kind of removing the option for some players that weren't around for the Milestone event, wasn't around for the AV event, wasn't around for the Scream event. You're making it quite challenging for any of those earlier players to land any shards really for the entire symbiote team. And of course, moving Symbiote Spider-Man now to the lower of the drop rate, I do think that does affect players a bit more. So that's the one thing I thought. The milestones in general, though, I think the milestones are, my initial hot take was this is terrible, right? And I still think that overall it's not great, but I looked at it this way. You spend 2.3 million gold, you're getting the majority of the stuff that they're offering here. You're getting more Milestone 2 orb fragments, so that's fine, right? If you go past the 2.3, then you get some additional items. Doesn't really make a massive impact, but it's just more of a, hey, it's there. If you do spend it, you're getting some stuff. That's kind of the way that I view it at this point. I still think that mostly players are probably going to be in this range, right? Where I'm already almost at 1 million. I probably will spend another 200K today, which would get me, for some stuff that's in the store, right? So maybe some hero uniques that I'll probably grab. But that's pretty much basically where I'm going to stay and where I think most players are going to stay on a day-by-day basis. And for what you're getting for going there is fine. If you do spend more, you get some extra stuff. And that's kind of the way that I'm viewing these additional milestone orbs. Good, not great. Emma's there. That's fantastic. Some things that I think are hurtful for some of the earlier players, like not being able to get symbiote Spider-Man as often as you probably would have been with the previous orb. But overall, I think it's a fine thing. Now, moving on from the milestone orbs, we had this kind of a big picture Facebook posting that happened, which kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop here. And I'm like, 4 new characters. So that means that, so we got this posting here. This was from their Twitter page or Facebook page. It was sent to me either way. This is what I got here. I looked on the Twitter page. It actually had some stuff there as well. So it looks like we're probably going to be getting Shang-Chi coming to Marvel Strike Force. Now, I'm not really quite sure who the other characters are going to be as well. There are some conspiracy theories out there, or should I just, maybe not conspiracy theories, but there are some theories that are out there that Cloak and Dagger could be the next characters, as well as Deathpool or Lady Death. That's what I'm gathering from the player base right now. Me personally, I don't even like to guess. I kind of like to be surprised a little bit, right? I think sometimes you find out things a little too early and it kind of ruins like how good you can feel about it. Like, for instance, when I found out that Adam Warlock was coming before it was actually announced, I was like, kind of a buzzkill. I would have liked to have been surprised on that day that he was coming, but kind of knowing that information ahead of time kind of ruined it for me. I think one of the bigger things that I looked at with this was, wow, look at all of these. These are the recent characters that have been released in Marvel Strike Force. And all of them are hero characters, right? So where are the villain characters that are going to be added to Marvel Strike Force? I'm definitely hoping that some of these characters are some villain characters that we can start using in RTA. Since you have your villain stuff, I know the trick to RTA with villains is like aim, like use an aim team. They last forever and they get a lot of abilities off. If your aim team is low enough, you're probably pulling some of those lower level matchups anyways. So I think that that's the trick to the villain comp right now, but still, we'd like to have some good villain characters that you can use in RTA, especially since RTA is not that fun anyways. At least being able to use some of the characters that you like or some of the newer characters, I think is kind of a good thing. So let me know, guys. Curious as to who you guys think are the characters that you're going to be adding. Who are the remaining characters here? Who are these remaining characters here? Leave it in the comments. Would like to hear from you guys where that is concerned. All right, in a recent update, this is from the blog post here. They're going to be making some changes to these T4s, which I think is definitely welcome, considering the fact that you have these new teams, man, that just need so many T4s now. Shadowlands, Skilletary, Infinity Watch to a certain extent. There's just all these new teams, Heroes for Hire, that they introduce Secret Avengers, and you need some more T4s. So I think this is a welcome change. I'm not sure exactly the entire impact, but let's take a look at it here, right? So ability material updates. As Strike's roster has increased, so has the need for more T4 ability materials to power up your characters. To help you earn more T4 ability materials, we'll be updating the rewards for raids and Alliance War. Depending on your Alliance's activity level, you should be earning between 60 to 190 more T4 ability materials per season. Here are the updates that are on the way. So if you break this down, it's about 120 to 380 T4 ability materials that you'll be able to earn per month. That's the way I broke it down per month. So per season, and of course, 2 weeks. You get what I'm saying. That's pretty much basically what it comes down to. So I definitely think on the higher end, it's helpful. Being able to tier 4 basically one additional ability per month, I think is a good thing. I guess they could have done more, but either way, I think this is actually a good addition. Now they did break down here where there are going to be kind of how they're going to be adding these T4s. So through raids, through Alliance War. They also broke it down for Ultimus 7 and then also these 2-1 raids. So I do think that it's good that they are giving this additional ability materials here to Alliance War into raids. I think another way that they probably could give us some additional updates is through the block party. I think that the block party, well, first of all, I think it should roll around a little bit more often than just every 2 months. I think this is something that should be rolling around every month for that flash event. I think also they need to rework it a bit because you only can get T4s right now at tier 7. So I would like to see them update the block party event to giving some T4s in 5, 6, and 7, tier 7 of the block party event. I think that's one way that they could also add some additional T4s. So I do think, yes, the 120 to 380 per month is good. And it's good that most players, they mentioned this in the previous paragraph, that most players, or I think all players, will be able to gain more of these tier 4s, but I do think that there are some other ways where they definitely could make some updates. So I think this is a good update, but I would like to see them make some changes in some other areas as well. And then another hot topic from last week, Maria Hill. Unfortunately, this happened, right, where Maria Hill was not supposed to be boosted in the drop race, but Maria Hill had some boosted drop rates here last week on Friday unintentionally. So a lot of players were able to get 5 red stars, 6 red stars on Maria Hill. There hasn't been any sort of messaging yet from Scopely. At least I haven't seen it yet. Never seen anything in the Discords. I haven't seen anything on Reddit yet that talks about the red stars for Maria Hill and the fact that players were able to get these red stars early. So I'm assuming that at some point we gotta be able to get that update today. There gotta be some messaging on that. But I know when I was streaming on Twitch on Friday, there were a lot of players who were just like, "Hey man, I got 5 reds on Maria Hill. Is this supposed to happen? I don't know. I got 6 red on Maria Hill. What did you get? I didn't open up red stars. It took around the red stars before I was able to open it up." So a lot of players got red stars, and there were some players that missed out on getting red stars as well. So curious just to see what they're gonna do about that. I think obviously with her Blitz being on Thursday, there definitely is most likely going to be some offers available for her between now and Thursday. Good guess, right? So we'll have to see what they're going to do here in terms of messaging, what they're going to do in terms of compensation, because I definitely do think that there's some compensation. Are they going to be reverting back players' accounts who were able to open up those red stars? I think that would be a feel bad, but probably to make everybody whole, that's probably the best direction for them to go in. Or they could ultimately just give it for an extended period or guarantee that players will be able to get a certain amount of red stars, at least 3. We'll see. Just some ideas out there. I don't know. It's tricky when you decide to go take red stars out of a player's account. I just don't trust them that they're not going to screw up a player's account even more by just taking out the red stars. It's gone too long now for them to even do that, in my opinion. So we're going to have to see what they're going to do moving forward here. And then the last thing I would like to talk about, guys, is this roadmap. We have been waiting for the 2021 end of the year roadmap right now, and we have yet to see any of that information be released. And I think right now players are kind of waiting on that to make a decision as to whether or not they're going to probably stay in the game, right? And I think that's probably the reason why they are delaying it so much. But I would really like to get an idea, just for me personally. I'm not looking to leave the game, but what I would like to know is, are they going to be making any changes to this game that is going to be favorable for the player base? Are they going to make it a little bit more fun? Are they going to give us things like more tabs for our save squads? Even simple things like that I'm looking for right now from this roadmap. And I think it's really kind of saddening that they have not put that information out there now. We're almost at the end of July, going into August. They were also late with their first 2021 roadmap as well for the first half of the year. They were definitely late on that as well. But I think, I don't know, man, I would like to be able to see that information. I think players would like to know, hey, what direction is this game going in right now? And I think delay is not a good thing sometimes, at least not with Scopely. I don't think necessarily delay is good. Usually I would say, hey, delay may mean that they're really kind of working some stuff out here, but I do think that this is something that we do need to get right now. But listen, guys, this is it for me. Let me know in the comments, guys, what your thoughts are on some of these topics here. Obviously, the Maria Red Stars is probably a big one. That Twitter photo. Who are the other characters that are going to be coming here to Marvel Strike Force? And of course, so many other things. The T4 update, good one, but we'd like to see them make some changes here in some other areas of the game. Conspiracy Theories ends this week. Get your cores, spend your cores, get the Sharon Carter orbs that you need. Open them up, guys, so that you can Get the Sharon Carter charge that you need for her and for that Secret Avenger team. Appreciate you guys watching. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe. Whew, all right, breakfast time. Let's go get it. Maybe we'll just do a protein shake. Yeah, protein shake's probably good. Good kind of pick me up, some energy, give me some energy right there. Let's go. Maybe some tea for this throat. Golly.